We are the true masters of the Earth sphere.
Two death.
Hey there, Two Deaf fans. It's your boy Sleep, and we're back again with another episode of the Two Deaf Podcast. Episode 10, in fact. It's your boy Sleepwalker, a man who walks through dreams, possibly yours. And I'm here with my boy John.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's John, a.k.a. J Poet, and we are here for episode 10. We made it.
Yep. People said it couldn't
We
be
made
done. And it was done. So up theirs.
Well, guys, we have a special guest today for episode 10. It's one of our earliest and most loyal and biggest partners that we have. We've actually done events with them already before COVID took it all away. But we have the one, the only Donovan DeVore with the Cotrol Point Gaming Center. What's up, Donnie? How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up, dude? I'm doing well.
Well, we appreciate having you coming on the podcast with us today, bro.
Thank you. It's cool to finally be here.
It's definitely good to have you. So we start off every episode with just kind of the general question: is what is everybody playing? What you playing, Sleep?
I haven't been playing as much of anything this week. Been kind of just tired, so I haven't really been playing much. But I have been playing Gungeon, so I have to say,
Entering the Gungeon, huh?
Yeah, back in some Gungeon because it's always something to come back to. Yeah, definitely.
And what about you, Donnie? What you been playing this week, man?
This week in particular, mostly Fall Guys and Rogue Company. Been playing a whole lot of Rogue Company though.
How you liking it?
I really like it. It's different. It's like a third person. It's like COD, or not COD. CS:GO, like playstyle, but I don't know. And then
it reminds me of like Gears. It's like a third person over your shoulder type.
yeah,
shooter.
you can switch views, like depending on which wall you're peeking.
I had to check that
Yeah,
out.
it's like Gears of War had a baby with Fortnite that looks more like Fortnite.
Oh man, I don't know about that. Dude. Like when you said Fortnite, I was like, bro, you see your baby daddy's whack.
You don't like Fortnite?
No, I'm not. Like the thing is, I can admit it's a decent game. It's just that I'm not big into that. I'm not big into battle royales either. That's why something like Fall Guys is a little bit more interesting because it's very quick. It's not a big thing. It's stuff like other battle royales or where you got to go back into the lobby and everything after you die. But with Fall Guys, you can get in and out just like that.
Yeah, that's how I like to play. I like to get in and out. I don't got time to sit there and play a serious game anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's just something that's like I can't do this, man. I can't spend like 30 hours on a story that's trying to teach me about violence. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I actually, after months of talking shit and kind of even boycotting Call of Duty, I have actually jumped onto the Warzone bandwagon a little bit this week.
Oh.
Yeah, man. I've kind of been on a multiplayer kick this week and been wanting to play. And Tyler and Adam and Chris and all them, they're on almost every night playing. So finally I broke down and was like, you know what, I miss playing with my boys. So I went ahead and jumped on and started playing with them. And I can't lie, man, I had a lot of fun playing with them.
Were you in Warzone? Were you doing the Battle Royale?
Yeah, I was in the Warzone doing the Battle Royale. Definitely not as good as I am in multiplayer. I'm actually pretty legit in multiplayer, but switch over to Warzone, there's a lot of waiting around, but it makes you be a whole lot more careful and measured in your approaches when you're approaching your enemy. But yeah, I kind of switched over because I've been talking shit about Warzone. I've never been a Battle Royale fan. But I've been having fun this week playing with my friends. And then last night I hopped on Gears of War again. Double XP weekend. They just launched their Operation 4. So I played some Gears of War last night. So that's what I've been playing.
Snap. Well, it's good to see you playing games and on the regular again, man.
Well, I'll tell you, Donnie, I don't know how you've had much time to play many games. You've had a busy month, haven't you, man?
It's been a busy quarantine.
Well, I saw that you got married, So congratulations, man. Saw a lot of the pictures. Look very beautiful. You and your beautiful wife. Definitely happy for you, brother.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, it was cool. It was nice to finally get to do it. We tried to get married last year and had to postpone it for some stuff, and then we got a venue, and then Corona hit, and so we canceled that, and was just kind of like, screw it, we'll do a backyard wedding, Kentucky style, and but it turned out a lot prettier than I thought it was going to, and luckily some family from all over got to come. We just invited close family who could come out and make it, and so some people I haven't seen in years got to come and hang out, meet my daughter. It was a good experience.
Good, man. Good. I saw some pictures from your honeymoon too, man. You were actually able to get away and head on down to where'd you go? Panama City.
Heck yeah, dude. We went to PCB, chilled out.
They look real beautiful, man. Look real beautiful.
We got pretty lucky. Like, we got a nice little. It was a condo, but it was like a studio condo on the beach. That was like the one requirement my wife wanted, was like, we have to have a beach view, where like, I don't care, like, I'll walk across the street to get to the beach. But no, our condo, I actually did a really good job on getting a place. Our condo was really nice, and then we had like a private beach, and I didn't realize like how strict they were until we got there. But we had a guy named Panama Joe who looks exactly like who he sounds like.
Is he like the Joe Exotic of Panama?
Dude, yeah, that's a good way to put it. And this guy was wild, dude. He had like his own little like tiki hut in the middle of like our beach section. And so like, to be in our area, you had to have a yellow bracelet on. If you didn't have a yellow bracelet on, he comes up to you quick. What are you doing? And like, he was on it. So we was kind of secluded, and even still, like, if our area wasn't secluded, you ever heard of Club La Vila? No,
I have not.
It's my parents have. When I told them, I was like, "Oh, our hotel's next to some Club La Vila." They're like, "That place is still around?" But apparently, it used to be it used to be on like MTV, like a big Spring Breakers club. It's got like a big old pool club. I don't know. We couldn't, like, it was close, so like I couldn't really see much of it, but it looked cool. But that was closed. That was like directly left of us, and then there's another club to the left of that was closed, and so their beaches were just open to the public, and so like, if our area kind of got crowded, if we didn't feel safe, we could have just moved to the left and been away from everyone, anyways.
That's good, because those cats need to stop being next to each other.
Well, I think it's funny how every beach town has like their little resident beach man. Like, I remember my wife and I went to Clearwater Beach one year, and this was back in 2012 or 2013, and there was some just like Bungaloo Joe or whatever you called him. Like, it was like literally looks the part. Hawaiian shirt that's barely even buttoned up. It has like a sailor hat on with curly hair and tan. Has a fucking parrot or macaw or whatever it was on his arm. He's like going around every attractive female in the bar. He's coming up and saying, "Hey, you want to touch my parrot?"
This dude, now Panama Joe looked like Hulk Hogan if he was on crack. Like, he skin and bones. He's like, "Hey, brother."
I like it that all of them are named Joe. Like, there's like an order of these cats that just like sit at somewhere and sit around a round table and think of how they're going to be crazy at a beach. Like,
oh yeah,
I think that's awesome.
And then like each person had their own like beach chair. Like we had 2 beach chairs that were like designated to us, and it was like, if somebody else sat in that seat and he didn't recognize you, he'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like he was just on it, man. And then the last 2 days we were there, it was a red flag. It was double red flag because there was a hurricane coming. And so if you were caught in the ocean, there was like trucks patrolling. If you got caught in the ocean, it was a $500 fine. And like, I was sitting there. I mean, every day we were on the beach, we were drunk, and or at least I was. And I don't know if Kyla was trying to keep up or not, but I was doing a pretty good job. But I had to pee really bad, so I was like, well, I'm gonna walk out and pee. I didn't even get to pee, dude. I walked like a couple steps in. He was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Double red flag.
Oh, hell
You keep
no.
that penis
So
in
they
your
make.
pants, sir.
So did you have to like self quarantine when you got home or what?
I mean, we didn't have to, but we did anyways. I mean,
That's smart.
the governor was like talking like if you go out of state, you should quarantine for 2 weeks, blah blah blah. So we did it just to be safe out of respect, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably smart. I mean, Florida ranked like if you ranked entire countries, Florida would be pretty high up on the list.
Yeah, Florida's, you know,
And plus
their numbers aren't good.
and plus it's
It's
just smart.
definitely not.
Crossing state lines is just smart because you just never know how well the next person's doing or how well the next city is doing, and then carrying that to another place. It would just be better than that than going over your mom's house and then accidentally killing her. You know.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But
Well, cool,
it was
man.
cool.
Cool.
We also got to do like we did venture out. We rode jet skis, and that's like the only time we've ever done that on the ocean. And luckily, we got a trainer who was, or not a trainer, but like it was like me and her on a jet ski, and then we had to follow another couple on their jet ski, and then in front of them was like our tour guide, and we got the tour guide who like is like he must be the owner's son or something, like begging to get fired. Like all the other workers are like in like, you know, like Nike, you know, dry fit looking T-shirts that say like staff. This dude comes up to us, no T-shirt, nipples pierced, covered in tattoos, and he's like, "Are you guys riding jet skis?" And we were like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Well, what's the name?" And I was like, "Devore." He was like, "Nah, I don't have you." But we were like the last ones there, and we were like, "It's got to be us." So like I was like, "Let me see the thing," and his thumb was halfway coming up my name. I was like, "Yeah, that's me." Right? Like that. Like if you move your thumb, like yeah, Devore. And he was like, "Oh, my bad." And then like we get back to like our jet ski, and he's like the other guys are like giving like a speech, like a prep speech, this, that, and the other, like talking about how you use the jet ski, this, that, and he's just like, fuck that, fuck this, you know, do this, do that, just follow me, don't be an idiot, and you won't die. He was like, for the love of God, when we get out, he was like, when we get out there and we're in the canal area or whatever, there's like a busy, like you kind of like coast through like a busy area, and then you get into the open and it's all chill. But he's like, when we're in this, for the love of God, don't fall off the jet ski. He's like, it's going to be a pain in the ass to save you. For some reason, everybody likes to fall off right here. And like, he was just the craziest dude. And then he came out, he was showing us how jet ski worked. He was like, remember, these things don't have brakes. So don't get within like 8 skis in front or close to someone. He's like, I don't want to see any half throttles. Okay, full throttles. All right, remember that, full throttle. Don't half throttle. And I was like,
in the same sentence.
Yeah. And Kyle and I look at each other. And we're like, I mean, we're kind of 1.5 throttle. Like we've never done this before. And like he was like, no, full throttle. And dude, this guy was nuts.
I ain't teaching no bitches.
Exactly. And we're like floating along, like, because there's like a long stretch where you're not allowed to like hit the gas at all. You just kind of float through. And we're like floating around, and he's like lighting cigarettes, and he's like angling his and like turning it certain ways and spraying. Like it would shoot if you like angle a certain way and full throttle, it would shoot water out. So he would like do that at birds and other people, like his coworkers. Like this guy was wild. And then like we finally like take off, and he's out there doing like handstands and tricks, and we're trying to keep up with him.
Yeah, he sounds like a winner. He sounds like Floyd of the
Oh, dude, he was nuts, dude. He was crazy. It was a really fun experience, but it was crazy. You just had to be there.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that we had Mr. and Mrs. Control Point now, so I'll be able to. You made an honest woman out of her, Donnie.
I did.
All right, so let's get to the meat and potatoes of why we're here today, man. I wanted to have you on today. Like I said, we really value our partnership with you guys, and we're just, so elated and excited to what the kind of the future holds once the world opens back up and we're able to start having events again. And but a lot of people might not exactly know what Control Point's all about, man. So won't you just kind of give us a rundown? Tell us about Control Point. How did it all start out, man? What do you got? What are you trying to do? How did it all start?
You want to know how it all started, or just get
Yeah,
into
yeah.
it?
How did it start? Like, how did the idea come to you? Of because some people don't even know exactly what you're doing quite yet, which we're going to get into that obviously through the questions. But I was just kind of curious of how you know how you came up with the whole idea of Control Point. What kind of made the light bulb go off and say, you know what, I'm going to open up a gaming center. I'm going to bring them back, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. What kind of brought that on?
Well, so I mean, all of it really started when I was in like 6th grade, I think.
Oh wow.
Maybe 5th. My mom started dating this guy. His name was Tim, or he who shall not be named, depending of who's around. But so Tim basically introduced me to like the PC world, like PC gaming world. He showed me like World of Warcraft, stuff like that, and then he took my Xbox and modded it, and so like that was kind of cool. Like the OG Xbox, and then he helped me build a PC, and then eventually he took me to an event called LAN War, which some people might know LAN War, some people might not. LAN War is like, it's a big LAN party that goes down at U of L. It's in the ballroom. There's like anywhere from 600 plus people in there who just basically come for 4 days, set up their gaming setups. There's mostly PCs, but sometimes you'll see some people with consoles, and then some people kind of switch back and forth. However, for the most part, it's PCs. But basically set up these PCs and gaming stations, and they're there for about 4 days. It's a really awesome experience if you're in Louisville. Even if you play consoles, I recommend going and just hanging out. It's a unique experience. You also kind of like realize like how bad of a hygiene some gamers have. But he took me to a LAN War, but at that time it was combined with WSVG, which WSVG used to be like the OG MLG. So they were like a tournament. They had a bunch of tournaments and stuff going on. At the first event I went to, it was a 1,000,000-man LAN, so it was a week long. They had over it was in Freedom Hall too. This one was in Freedom Hall. They had over 1,000 people in there for the LAN setup. And then there's another area that you could go to that was like an expo setup. And the expo area was where all the tournaments are going. They had like Counter-Strike Source tournament, a Quake 4 tournament, a Fight Night Round 3 tournament, a Guitar Hero tournament. It was crazy. It's the coolest thing I've ever been to.
Sounds like it smelled pretty bad though.
That first one didn't, dude. The regular LAN War in the ballroom hall, kind of nasty. Like second, third day, you're like, God, dude. Some of you haven't left. I haven't seen some of you sleep either. It's like, how are you alive? It's a really cool and crazy experience, and but the only thing I don't like about it is they don't allow alcohol because it's a campus. But oh well. I'm
pretty sure it's still got on there.
Oh yeah, I got a flask, but like, anyways, he started taking me to these LAN parties and LAN War events, and I was like, mind blown by all of this, and I was still new to gaming, and eventually in like sometime in like 8th grade, I had to do like a report or a paper on something that was like a hobby. I don't even really know why I started the paper, but like I was like, oh, I'm gonna talk about LAN War. Like none of these kids in my school know about LAN War. Like I've talked to some about it, none of them know about it. And so like I started like typing this up and doing some research on LAN War, and then at that same time I came across LAN cafes, which LAN cafes there was like none in America at that time, but they were huge in like China and Japan, and
yeah, they're pretty big over there. They're still big over there.
Still big over there.
Yeah.
And I started learning about those, and I was like, dude, those sound really cool. It's like a community. Like you go in there and you game, and then you leave, But over there, they're more so set up like you can kind of go there and like rent out a room and stuff. Like instead of just a desk, it's a room.
Yeah. I remember one time we talked about that guy in China who stood there was there for like a year or something like that.
Yeah.
Like he just lived at that place.
It was in one of our eyebrow segments.
Yeah, dude, they're nuts. And so that's kind of where like the idea of like brewed from, and then just over time, like I've always thought about it, I've always talked about it. I never thought I would actually pursue it, and then my stepdad Mark, he accepted a government job in Virginia, and when he first moved there, like they were paying for him to live in a hotel, but his hotel didn't have internet. He's a hardcore gamer, and so he started looking around. He's like, "Well, what am I supposed to do?" Like, and he found a game center there called the Cave, and he started going to the Cave, and he was texting me and sending me pictures of it. And he was like, "Hey, isn't this like something you always used to talk about?" I was like, "Yeah." And so I hit them up. I sent them an email, and I was like, "Hey, I've always wanted to start up something like this. Do you have any insight or any kind of helpful info you could give me on this?" And the owner of the Cave emailed me like 10 minutes later and was like, "Hey, I'm on vacation, but I'm open for call. If you want to call me, we could talk." And I was like, "Heck yeah, dude." Called him, and we talked for like hours and hours, and he really stirred the pot. He's super open and very informative on everything. And then from there on out, I just really started like getting it all down on paper, planning things out, trying to get the right people around me, and execute things.
That's awesome, man. I know, like here in Louisville, I can't remember. I've had a bunch of different people talk about Woots and Tech World and the Zone and places like that that used to kind of have little land cafes, gaming centers. There used to be one over by Stony Brook Theater that I used to go to all the time, and it was just the most awesome freaking thing in the world. And they kind of just disappeared. And I know it's kind of a difficult business model sometimes, especially with the world of consoles and people playing from home and everyone having high speed internet now. But I just loved it there. So when me and you linked up, when we were launching 2Death Gaming, and you kind of pitched your vision to me, I was automatically sold just because I thought that it's absolutely awesome. It's only going to help the culture, the gaming and nerd culture here in Louisville, to have more of these gaming centers. I think most people are kind of familiar with the typical gaming center, LAN cafe kind of idea, even if there's not a whole lot of them left here. But kind of tell us, like, what is your vision? Like, what give me the where, the who, the when, the why, the how, and how it's going to compare to what maybe people are typically used to when they think of a LAN cafe or a gaming center.
Well, I feel like when people think of a LAN cafe, for some reason they automatically think of like a coffee shop with Wi-Fi. Like you go in there and you set up a computer and you play, or you go in there and there's just a computer set up and you play. But it's much more than that. Like, with Control Point, first and foremost, the name Control Point. People who play games know control points are a point on a map that you have to stay at to own. You have to stay on the point to capture the point. Mm-hmm. So the way the control point is going to be set up, there's statistics on all of our systems. So you come in there and you play games, you get put into a scoreboard online, and it compares you not only in our gaming center, but around the world in other gaming centers. Other people will see your statistics and your stats, which I think that's really cool. You earn just in-store currency from being in there playing. What?
It's like a giant leaderboard.
Yeah, like a giant leaderboard. And you're right. Some people would argue, which I mean, that's what a lot of people kind of say too. Is like, why would I pay money to go play in a gaming center when I could play at home? And it's kind of like, well, why would you pay money to go drink at a bar when you could drink at home? The community is everything. So that's going to be my primary focus. I want the coolest and most vibe community in the gaming center as possible. And to an extent to where like I want like music nights, I want to encourage people who do all kinds of things to come in there and meet, because everyone, like, I'm a well-versed person, like in school my teachers hated me because of the fact that like I could talk to anyone. Like I was a gamer, I was into sports, I liked at that time I liked the anime that was on TV at that time. At this time, I don't know any of the anime anymore, but I can't really talk about that anymore. But back then, I could.
You're not missing anything.
But like I could literally sit there and talk to anyone. Like a teacher would move me next to someone who doesn't normally talk, and like the next day, like he and I would be best friends, or he and me and she would be best friends, but that's like what I want to build up in the center is just like all these people coming together from different aspects and just having friends to talk to and chill with, and you can look at it in a term of sports. Like I look forward to every Sunday. I normally play basketball in an open gym with the same people I've been playing basketball with for years. I look forward to that every Sunday. And so even if it's just like a once a week thing with your guys, people will start to look forward to going to Control Point and playing or doing whatever they do in there with that group of people, and it'll only get bigger.
So it's like you want to just leave that social space open for everybody so they can, commune in their own way and at their own kind of level and everything like that.
Yeah, I want there to be a social, like the more, and that's another thing too, is like as time's gone by and the more time I've had to because right now I'm on pause. I haven't tried to do anything in a while, but like as time goes on, the more stuff I've been getting into, the more people who've talked to me and reached out to me, the more I want it to be inclusive. Like I'm at the point now where like I really want I want like 3 or 4 different like separate stream stations and 3 or 4 different like podcast stations, different things that I never would have thought about in the beginning, including that now I'm like I really want that in there, and it's not necessarily for like to have some big streamer come by and show up. It's mostly to teach kids. Like some of these kids who are growing up now, like they're really trying to get into streaming, or they're really trying to get into podcasting, or even like video editing, making music, video game design, all of that. I would really like to have a way to teach that.
That's dope. I really like that, giving away, a resource for the community for not only to come and game and let off some steam, but if they want to learn something about the industry, they can come in and get some of that too. And I think that's dope.
Yep, you got to start on their streaming careers or whatever. You can launch all kinds of successful careers.
Exactly. And
so Donnie, I've had the pleasure of being able to see the renditions of kind of what your vision looks like, kind of the floor plans and how you're wanting it to be set up. But for the general fan, like what could they expect when they walk into a Control Point gaming center? When they walk in, what kind of paint the picture for us? How many? I mean, you're gonna have a PC area, a console area. Like, what's kind of the specs of the place going to look like? What could a person expect when they walk in?
So generally, it's kind of like walking into an arcade, but instead of arcades, you see PCs and consoles. With Control Point, I wanted to set up where you walk in immediately, you be greeted by staff. If it's your first time, they can give you a tour. And unless you're just not into that, you just want to walk around yourself, you can walk around yourself. It'll be an open space type concept. There'll be like a chill lounge area in the middle, and then there'll be a PC on the side, like PC stations on the side. Each PC station, pre-corona would look like you have about probably like 3 feet worth of width of a desk area, and each station would have a keyboard, mouse pad, the one monitor, and a gaming PC. And then same thing with consoles. You would have your console, TV, and controllers.
Would it be in a separate room?
So it's PCs and consoles would be in separate locations, not necessarily rooms. It would just kind of be like, so like the PCs, what they call the way that those are separate, they call it a grocery aisle look, where it's like a long desk, and then there's like 2 rows of it's like a long and tall desk. There's 2 rows of desks. The top row has actually like the actual PC and wires up there, and then the bottom row, which would be at the player level for sitting down, will have your keyboard, mouse, and monitor. And then there'd be like little plexiglass sliders in between each person to kind of help, make it feel like you have your own little space. And then the consoles will be set up to where it's almost like you have your own little desk with a TV and then a console's there. And the console stations, like they're not in separate rooms. It depends also on like what building I get. So like if I have like a massive building, if I can separate them into rooms, I probably will. But in a smaller setting, no, they wouldn't be in separate rooms, but they would be in different areas, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
different areas of the setup.
And then two, I also want to have the streaming / podcast setups will be probably in cubicles, depending on space. If it's a big enough space, and they'll have their own rooms as well. And then I'd really like to have an 18 and up area too.
Oh, where are we doing the 18 and up area? Knife fights?
Yeah, gambling.
Oh, that's what I was waiting to hear, bro.
Gambling. No, the 18 and up will just be
only EA games, right?
Yeah, only EA games. That's where the nasty anime will be being played. No, the 18 and up area I think is going to be mandatory because Stevie and I went to eBash in Terre Haute, Indiana, which is a gaming center. And, you guys know Stevie. These other people don't. But we went there, and they were doing a lock-in night. And it was like there was probably like 70 kids there. Like, there was a lot of kids. And we could tell not only from like the vibe of the employees, but some of the vibe of the people around, like they were sick of these kids. And they were loud and obnoxious, and it was kind of rough. And then the employee took us over to I think it was like 17 and up area, and that's where we actually hung out for the night. And that was like it was a lot nicer to be over there than to be in the main area. So I think it'll be, for the most part, mandatory, depending on how many kids come rolling through.
Will there be like a time, like at a time there was a cutoff where it's only adults, like how bars do it after 10 or something like that?
Yeah, I think that's something I'm gonna do for sure, because even Sky Zone does that. I think it's like after 10 o'clock or something, it's like 17 and up night.
So how are you planning on doing it? Like as far as, are people going to be purchasing memberships, or are you going to accept people walking right off the street wanting to just come and play for a little while? What is kind of how is your business model going to be different from some of the failed business models of gaming centers in the past?
So it depends on Corona.
Yeah.
That's why I'm afraid to even make any moves right now. But
we're definitely in the same boat, brother.
Before Corona, it was going to be an hourly type deal. You come in there. There will be memberships. I'm still going to stick to that. So like, I was going to do an all-around membership of $15 a month. And what that gets you is, so if you're a member, you can be in there and play whatever you want for $3 an hour. If you buy hours in bulk, it's obviously cheaper. Memberships also, like, you get like a free T-shirt with sign up and a couple other cool perks. And then and you get the Prime. So on the computers themselves, they run a software called GG Circuit. GG Circuit is like the tracker. It gives you points and rewards, and then built into GG Circuit is also Super League. And Super League is like an online tournament system. So if you get a membership, we'll give you Super League Prime, and whenever you're in Super League Prime, you can use some of your coins, like your in-game currency, to get in online tournaments that have like really big cash prizes. Like I think there's like some weekly Fortnite tournaments. They compete Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And they have like $10,000 worth in prizes every week. So there's some chances, especially if you have a Prime membership, that you can make a living just hanging out in a gaming center.
So It really would be. I mean, tell us a little bit more about that ranking system, just for the person who's ignorant of it and had never heard of it before this podcast. Tell us a little bit more about how it works.
So the ranking system itself, as far as Super League Prime goes, so you have to be in the center to compete in that stuff. You can't like sign up, get a membership, go home and compete. You have to be in the center. You have to be on a PC, and you have to be playing ranked games. And it basically tracks all your games, all your skills, or not skills, all your stats, and it ranks you globally against other gaming centers. And I believe it's the top 10 get the payout. I think the lowest payout's like $100. And it's in different games. So they do. I know like the big ticket right now is Fortnite. I mean, it was before Corona. I'm sure it might still be for a while. I don't know though. I think Fortnite's kind of dying out. But
well, they got all these new ones popping up, and you still have Apex and other things.
Yeah,
they're going pretty hard.
And Apex is another big one. Apex. What else was it? Apex, League of Legends, Dota 2.
I bet you're putting a Fall Guy one in there soon.
Yeah, they need to. And a couple other games. Like you just compete per game. Like you would sign up for it per game, and then it tracks you. And like there's a scorecard. When you're in there, it tells you like you can look to the right, and it tells you your scorecard. You have like whenever you get into it, you have like your own personal profile, and everything you do gives you like in-store currency. It's just coins, and you can use the coins to buy.
Oh.
To that guy, just follow the Twitch. Sorry, that alert scared the crap out of me. I forgot I was live. Anyways, yeah, you can use the in-game currency to purchase equipment and different things. Like they got like mice, keyboards, headsets, the whole jazz, dude.
Oh snap! That sounds good. So you can like win prizes, and it's like an adult Chuck E. Cheese.
Exactly, it's like an adult gaming Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh man!
But it gives you the incentive to keep coming back. You know what I mean? So it's like having your gamer score on your Xbox, and you want to compete with your gamer score, be it higher than your friends, but instead of being at home, you would want to go to the gaming center, kind of make it like the hangout spot. You know what I mean?
Because you could still win stuff with it. It's like you actually get something for your time you put in, and that's I can see a lot of people wanting to do that. You know what you need though? Pizza.
Yeah, for sure.
Like pizza. You start selling pizza. Oh, dude.
Well, it's like the lock-in night. That's something I want to do. Lock-in night's 20. So I think eBash was open till midnight. But when they have a lock-in, you can stay all night. So, but you have to pay $25 for the lock-in, and with that $25, get you 2 slices of pizza and a Coke. And then of course they sell snacks and stuff too. But the doors locked at midnight. If you didn't buy the lock-in, you gotta go. And so, but I think that would be fun too. Like especially if you do like you could do your younger lock-ins and your older lock-ins.
Well, it's something that I would love. I mean, I would just love to see it become super successful. My dad even used to tell us back in the day, how everyone used to hang out at the pool hall, or and have like that neighborhood place where all the kids go to hang out, but they can play games and learn about gaming and learn and actually spend some good time in their gaming. How parents could come and drop them off at Control Point for a couple hours while they go shopping, or something like that. So it's definitely just a very intriguing concept, and I'm loving it.
I mean, even still, like if you think about it, say you, I don't know, that might be a bit extreme, but say even if you try to use Control Point as your daycare, right? Like if you have those kids in there for 6 hours a day, if it costs you what, 6 would be probably, let's say a day pass is $20 at the most. So 20 times 5 is what? 100?
Yeah.
So you're spending $100 a week if you have to stick your kids in there for 8 hours a day. I mean, that's kind of cheap daycare.
It's way cheaper than daycare.
Oh yeah, I mean it's questionable parenting, but it is way cheaper than daycare.
Well, and when I was on the cruise, which was like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I was on a cruise. They basically had a gaming center on that cruise ship, and there were kids in there playing. And I was like, bro, if you go on a cruise, like, I'm an avid gamer, but if you go on a cruise and you play games, shame on you.
Yeah.
It is kind of like, hey, bro, life is outside. Let's come on.
Oh man, I tell you, me and my family, some hardcore gamers. Like we went to Gatlinburg with my uncle James and my brother Matt and my cousin Tyler. We're all huge gamers, and they were talking about bringing the fucking Xbox and the Switch and hooking them up in the cabin. And I'm like, dude, we're on vacation. Like, I'm not sitting in the damn cabin playing games all day. But lo and behold, I did.
I remember one time we were on vacation, right? And I went by the arcade, and it had like I forgot what game it was. It was some new fighting game. And I think it may have been Soul Calibur or something like that. And I was like, oh my God. So we were walking off to somewhere, and I doubled back to the arcade to see the game. And I was looking at it, and I was looking at people playing, and it was about to be my turn to play, and my mom snatched me by the top of my hair and just dragged me out. Like, oh, I can't. And she was hitting me the whole time. I was like, I can't believe you would just walk away. And like it just.
Don't be painting Miss Candace in a negative light like that. She's a sweet woman.
I was in Disney World for my my sister's cheerleading tournament, and at the hotel we were at, it had a really cool arcade, and it had Guitar Hero, and like I spent a good amount of time on that Guitar Hero. I was at Disney World.
Oh, it's every time, like, just in the same kind of vein as Gatlinburg. Every single time I go to Gatlinburg, one of my must go spots is the arcade that's underneath the Sky Needle. Always go and hit up the arcade every single time. But
I remember
it's a different beast when you actually bring your consoles with you on vacation, because you can't not play games for that long.
I've done it at a wedding before, but then again, not everybody's always. You don't always want to be at that.
Well, you seen those pictures of dads bringing their Xboxes to the
delivery room?
Yeah.
I joked about it with Tamara, and she just gave me this look, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, I value my life."
I bought a
just joking. Unless you're gonna do it.
My wife, like, this was a while back, but like, when she was having bad Crohn's issues, there was a time where we got stuck in the hospital for like a week and a half, and I was so bored. So one day I was like, hey, I'm gonna run home and get some change of clothes, and I'll be back. She's like, okay. I went to Best Buy and bought a controller that hooks up to my phone. It was from then on I was playing games on my phone with that controller to pass time because it was so boring.
So Donnie, just to kind of get back on topic here, one thing that you and I both understand is to build a successful business like this, you gotta put good people around you, people you trust, people who kind of bring something to the table. So we've had the pleasure of being able to meet your whole team when we had our Smash Brothers Rocket League tournament together over there at Bluegrass Magic. Shout out Bluegrass Magic.
Shout out to the rest of Cotrol Point too. What's up, guys?
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of shout out your team, tell us a little bit about your team, kind of what each person's forte is, and kind of give them their little 15 minutes on fame.
Yeah, cool. I can do that. So you guys kind of met everyone. I start off with the right-hand man, Stevie. Stevie's my best buddy. We actually used to live right next to each other. You get older and you move away. But he was kind of like my right-hand man for a while. He was always on deck with it. He went with me. He's done a lot with me. And when time comes to push, he's always the one that answers. So, I can't praise Stevie enough for helping me out. And he's just pretty much like my main partner. And then my second partner would be Luke, which would be, the taller one. Luke Hartwell. He's mostly he and I pretty much do a lot of the like paperwork stuff, behind the scenes stuff. when it comes to like making sure um, we're in good standings with the government. We're following laws. And that was one thing he really kind of helped me do. We got it set up to where like I can legally hire an employee and different things like that. So Luke Hartwell, he's an awesome guy. And then the next person would really be um, probably, I don't know. I mean, Lucas. Lucas is a goofy dude. Lucas and Ricky, they're pretty much going to be the first employee slash managers as soon as possible. They're very loyal. They still, we all still talk here and there. It's not like we used to, but life is we're just on pause. There's not, there's no, we stopped meeting up. There's no reason for us to really meet up, and it's kind of sucks right now. But yeah,
we come across the same thing, man. Me and Sleep the other day, we were like, dude, you want to just come over to my house and just kick it? Like, let's not talk about 2Def. Let's not do anything with work. Let's not do, like every single time that I see him or we talk, it's business oriented. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about 2Def stuff. We're talking about what we're going to do in this next YouTube skit or this next podcast or this, new whatever we're trying, So we definitely kind of had that same little situation recently. I just wanting to just kick it with my boys and not make it all about work.
Enjoy life for a little bit because it's getting crazy out there. Every now and again you need a little levity.
Yeah.
It's been rough, man. We're in the same boat, as everyone knows. We had a lot of momentum going there with 2Def, and we were literally less than 3 weeks out from our launch party when we had to cancel it because of COVID. So, we haven't done a whole lot. We've kind of started doing the podcast, and we started, we did a game night one night and everything like that. So, but there's not a whole lot to be done. But you guys over at Control Point, man, you guys have been really unique. You kind of taken a very, I feel like state-of-the-art approach to it. I feel like you've been staying fairly busy even during the whole, COVID epidemic. What have you guys been doing over there? Kind of give us some examples of what you've been doing through these hard times with the virus.
I mean, it's just a whole lot of talking and trying to figure stuff out. Like, my thing was, so like the first couple weeks, I mean, I didn't do anything. None of us really did anything because we didn't know what we could do or what was going to happen. The world was also in panic, so it was kind of like whatever. And then as time went, like I'm a busy bee. Like I like to stay busy, and when I'm not busy, I get depressed because I feel like I don't have a purpose. And so like I kind of bugged Luke Hartwell a lot, and he and I pretty much he introduced me to Zoom, and he and I kind of Zoomed a lot. We kind of butt heads on a lot of different things, but he taught me some methods as far as business strategies, whatever business stuff goes. And so I've been trying to follow all of that. I haven't been busy on Facebook, but I've been trying to be busy on Instagram. And me personally, I've been trying to reach out and find local streamers and get involved with them. Because, streaming back whenever I was in like college, I really liked streaming. That's when I got into it. And then, with this stuff going on, like I can't come and meet a lot of people, but I can talk to people and I can stream and try to talk to people. So that's kind of been where my thing has been. Like I've gotten back into streaming. I've been trying to reach out and meet local streamers, and I have met a few local streamers, and we've been talking, and I've been trying to help them out in different ways that I can. And Stevie, but as far as the team goes, like we've all just kind of been doing our own thing. Like when we talk, we don't talk about business. Like sometimes it's good to be talking, you got to be on point. You got to do your X, Y, and Z to get to your next spot. But sometimes too, you need that relaxation. If it's business, you'll lose your friendship. So I try to stay friendly with them. I try not to bug them. And same vice versa. They know I don't like to. There's certain times where like I don't feel like talking to people. My wife tells me to. Well, it's mostly my wife tells me to put my phone away, and then Seems like every time that happens, somebody needs something. And it's like crap. So, but and then the at home app came out, which I thought was going to be awesome, and that kind of flopped on me. But after that, that's all. After the at home app, that's all I've been kind of focusing on is just trying to
I was
stream.
curious about that at home thing. You had some good teams going that were ranked pretty high there for a while.
Yeah, we did. We were top 11 Control Point. Center that never got to open doors. Top 11 in the country. Not country, in the world, sorry. And Louisville's got some good talent. And but the people screwed my gamers over, to be honest. So I'm not very happy about that, and I haven't really focused on that in a while. That I think everyone's off the at-home app, to be honest. It was
what happens,
It was a really
weeds out the good and bad programs.
Exactly. It was a really cool program. It had really good potential, but the way I think what it is the at home was supposed to be a way to make it seem like you were gaming with the gaming center and with your with your friends or whatever at the gaming center from home. It's supposed to be some sort of experience like that. And it was an online tournament system. It only had 6 games in it, which was like CSGO, Fortnite, Apex, League of Legends, Dota 2, and something else. And so like at first, like I got a bunch of people in there for League and different games. I reached out to like U of L esports. I reached out to a lot of local college esports programs. It's like, hey, I have this going on. If your players are interested, they can hop in this. There's a chance to win money weekly. This, that, and the other. I got some teams in there that were doing pretty well. This poor guy, man. This guy, his gamer tag is I am no Jedi. This dude. So there's 6 games, and the way that you get paid is a leveling system. So the highest levels get paid. The way that you level up, you play a competitive match in a game, and you get scored off of it. And then your score goes against another person's score at another center using the at-home app. And it could be a center from anywhere in the world. And so, like, if you win that matchup for that game, you get 1 level. So people who have time to sit there and play all 6 games in one day, if they win all 6 of their matchups for the day, they level up 6 times in one day. And so a lot of guys who came in who were like competitive esports players, and they only stick to one game because that's the only thing that they're trying to advance in. They're trying to advance in that one game. So those guys were just getting 1 level a day, where other people were getting 4, 5, 6 levels a day and were just crushing it. And these guys would be like, I had another kid, Connor, who was top in the world multiple times in CSGO. He didn't win jack squat because that's all he played with CSGO. So like,
Played 1 game, yeah.
I didn't like that aspect of it, and neither did a lot of the other. Like, there's a gaming center Discord for that app and stuff. A lot of the other people didn't really like it. There's a lot of technical issues. Like, some games would get recorded, some games wouldn't. Apparently, people figured out how to cheat it in different games, so that was an issue. And like, tech support would be like telling you. So like, they thought Connor, my guy Connor in CSGO, was hacking because there was a game where he scored so high he had to have had killed the enemy team. Like, he had to have soloed the enemy team every match. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of sketchy. I'll look into that. And so like, I was talking to him about it, and he was like, well, yeah, I was in a custom game doing this, and I was testing out different weapons. He's like, but I didn't know it was being tracked. But they wanted me to ban him for that. And I was like, well, I'm not going to ban him. Like, he didn't know that. I didn't know that. There's nowhere in the rules that talk about it. Like, I'm not going to ban the kid. And so
for your loopholes that you didn't close up.
Yeah, and so like, I just talked to him about it, and I said, well, please don't ever do that again, blah, blah, blah. And he never did it again. Like, his scores, after that, his scores were more, natural looking. And that was it. but there were a lot of other issues and stuff. So, and like, then now they've changed it up, and like it kind of looks cool, but like I'm not gonna push it. I already lost a lot of
Yeah.
money on that. I'm not gonna push.
Well, it was still pretty cool though, just to see you guys active through the whole COVID stuff, because I've seen you've been, when you were in the height of that, it was, you guys were doing really good with it, and I'm sure it was tons of great publicity for you guys during it all.
Oh yeah, it was good publicity. It was also bad publicity because I think they lost their sponsor for the app or whatever, so they weren't paying anymore. And I had like 3 or 4 people come to me and was like, I placed top 5 and this. When am I supposed to get paid? And I was like, I guess I'll send you a PayPal because they're not paying right now.
Oh, so you got to pay out of your pocket?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks real bad. Well, man, so we've been talking right up through this. I just wanted to touch on a few other things before we kind of get out of here and get our closing in. Something's happened between last time we talked, and that was a recent PlayStation State of Play. Really odd. There was no, we heard about it. We heard about the general time it's supposed to be, but literally right up before it happened, no one knew it was even happening. Sleepy reached out to me, and it was already in the middle of happening. He was like, "Oh, I didn't even know this was coming." So, but we definitely want to give it, give it its fair shake and kind of just talk about it very briefly. Raphael, you want to give your kind of general take on it first, or?
Well, I mean, as far as the state of play, like Sony said, they weren't really gonna show anything big, and they did not show anything big. There was basically a bunch of indies, PlayStation 4 games. Crash Bandicoot, if you're excited about that, which I am because I played every single Crash Bandicoot. So I'm like, I'm going to be playing this one as well. But other than that, really didn't have much there to show.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to check it out, Donnie, at all? Enough to at least form an opinion on it?
I watched it. It looked, I wasn't sure what was going on. It seemed like a live show talking about some of the new games coming out, and it highlighted Crash Bandicoot. The thing I watched highlighted Crash Bandicoot.
That's like the very beginning.
Was it? Oh, snap.
Yeah,
well.
Very beginning. And I mean, that's kind of like the best game they had there. I mean, they did have like two PS5 games there, but one game, you didn't really, you could get an idea of what it was. They didn't show much, and then they showed a lot of Godfall, which was, I don't know. Godfall's giving me those Warframe vibes, like it's going to come out and it's going to be like, and then in maybe a year or two later, it's going to be great, kind of like Warframe, where it first came out, and it wasn't really that great, and then it got much better as time went on. And I don't know, it just gives me those vibes with Godfall.
Well, I'll say this, man. So, what are some of the cool games that I really liked that I thought were cool? Aeon Must Die. That looked pretty cool for an indie game.
I'll wait till you get done, but there's actually there's some news about that. It's kind of crazy.
Well, that looked like a dope game. The Vader Immortal VR game looked fucking dope. That looked really cool. Bug Snacks, not great graphics or anything like that, but it looks like it's a fun game to play. Mm-hmm. The Pedestrian, it looked like it was a really unique puzzle game, indie puzzle game. It would be really fun if I had it on my phone. Outlaws and Legends look cool, and then Godfall I thought looked awesome. But other than that, man, I will say that I was totally let down. Especially after we did the Xbox showcase, and there was so much fucking shit talked about the Xbox graphics and what kind of games they came out with, and all this kind of stuff. And then I watched this game, and it was all mostly PlayStation 4 games, little indie games or games that look horrible. There was only a few good-looking guns in it, and literally every game that they showed at the State of Play could run on an Xbox 360. And some of them looked like they were fucking PS2 games, or they were on a Game Boy Color. So it was kind of like hearing all the shit that I heard from PlayStation fans from the showcase, and then I see the State of Play, and it looks like that. Initially, my initial response was like, wow, like I just wasted my fucking time watching a bunch of PlayStation 2 games, basically. But Well, I went back and watched it a couple times, and some of those 4 or 5 games that I kind of highlighted, I think there's a lot of promise there. I think games like the Outlaws and Legends and the Godfalls and the Vader Immortal and the Aeon Must Die. Some of those games really look like they have a whole lot of promise, and I look forward to seeing kind of what they're messing with them.
Well, before I wanted to say Aeon Must Die. Apparently, the game is like a stolen game because the developer put out a tweet like the entire staff quit. Like the entire staff quit. Like on who was developing this because apparently there was calls for abuse and stuff like that with the developer and stuff like that. So they put out a game saying this game is stolen and the game is that no one's working on it right now. So I don't even know if this game
wow.
is
So what was it, kind of like a grandma's boy situation where like the developer stole it from the worker who's
like,
like
from the people
in Grandma Boy, he made the game and the little robot guy stole it and tried to say it was his. They had to bring the grandma in to whoop his ass to show that it was actually.
I would love if that happened at their studios, but I'm pretty sure everybody just walked out. And that's what I've been hearing about that game. So that game probably isn't even going to come out.
Oh, well, that's a damn shame. It did look pretty cool. But Donnie, me and Raphael, we have, I'm an Xbox guy. He's a PlayStation guy. So since the beginning of time, it seems like we have this console war debate about, which one's better, which upcoming systems are going to be better for the new generation and all this kind of stuff. And we had previous podcasts about being in a kind of an uncharted territory with these consoles because they're getting so freaking powerful. And, with a lot of the frames per second and the, 4K, 8K stuff that we have capabilities with now, it's getting kind of crazy. So with you on here and with your expertise, we kind of wanted to do kind of a slight rendition on it instead of just being straight up console wars. We kind of wanted to have this conversation like the PC versus the consoles, and kind of have that real lively debate. We're a little bit over our time already, but I definitely want to kind of dig into this and kind of see where everybody's head is with that. So first off, Team Xbox, fuck PC, fuck PlayStation. Y'all got it.
All right, so now that we've gotten the silly argument,
man, hang on a second.
No, but I'll start off by saying this. I was a PC gamer. That's how I started. Obviously, besides the NES and the Sega Genesis of the world's Nintendo 64s. But when I really started playing competitively multiplayer, I started on the computer. Now, granted, I'll tell you my age here. We're talking back in like 97, 98, 99 when I was playing. And I was really good. I played a game called Rogue Spear. It's a Tom Clancy Rainbow Six game. And we used to ladder, and I was ranked in the world with that game. And we switched to Counter-Strike Source, the original Call of Duty, Diablo 2, kind of the games that were going. Back then, though, I switched to consoles with the original Xbox and Halo 2. And I've been on consoles ever since. Now, back then, it's a little different than it is now, and I'll let Donnie kind of tie this in. But when I was gaming on a PC back then, technology was so evolving so quickly. So every time a new game came out that I was excited for, I had to go out and I had to go get a new video card because my video card wouldn't support this game. And then because I got a new video card, my motherboard wasn't big enough to hold my new video card. So then I had to buy a new video card and a new motherboard and a new stick of RAM so that this new game can run, on my PC. And then, so it's like every time a new game came out, new state-of-the-art game, I had to completely redo my PC and completely rebuild it up. So when I first got a console, it was actually really nice that I had a console that was good for, 3 to 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm just sitting here playing on this console. All I had to do is go get the game. I don't have to worry about updating my console. But these days it's a little bit different. I will admit the PCs has kind of been running the game there. There's just so much more freedom and customizable, being able to customize your games and your experience and the type of games and the graphics that you can get on a PC have not been able to be rivaled by the consoles until this generation. So, are you threatened as a PC gamer by the power and the abilities of the Series X or the PS5?
Fuck no. I want, you know what I want with these new consoles? I am like praying that these new consoles lower the cost of graphics cards. That's all I want. I really want the new consoles to be successful and cause the people who make graphics cards to lower their graphics card prices. That's all I want.
I think that's the thing with PC is the fact that the biggest bar is always the price. Because like I'm a PlayStation guy. If I can get it on the PC and it works on my PC, I would much rather have it on there. Because one, like when you get stuff on Steam, it updates, like periodically all the time. A lot of times on the consoles, they'll just wait a little bit and then just bunch all those updates together instead of just, it updating gradually all the time on the PC. You can use any control. You can put almost any game on there and you can modify it to put like, Macho Man Randy Savage, like as a dragon.
Yeah. I think that the biggest
Macho Man Randy Savage is a dragon.
Yeah, check out them Skyrim mods.
Skyrim mods and even GTA mods are ridiculous right now.
They get crazy, bro. I'm like, I'm like surprised these people don't make games.
Dude, yeah. That's
cool and all, but
with like PCs, like for me, like I started off. Like, I started on PCs, really. I mean, I had consoles growing up. I started with an N64, played the fire out of some Super Mario World, then got the Dreamcast, loved my Dreamcast.
Oh, yeah, and then that's dope. That was a dope system.
That was a great console.
Yeah.
Had the Dreamcast, and then I got the PlayStation 1. Or no, I got the PS2. Loved the PS2, but, like, at the point where I went, like, when I was at that age and I got the Dreamcast and the PlayStation 2, even when I got a PlayStation 3, all I played were sport games. I never played shooters on those, or racing games, those two. And so, like, whenever I got my PC, all I played on PC was shooters and MMOs. And so, like, for me, I always thought it was weird to play shooters on consoles. I just like couldn't grasp the concept of playing a shooter with a controller. It's like how can you do that? Like, it's so mind-boggling. Like, a mouse is so much more easier to use, but
yeah.
If you've grown up on a controller, I've had controller players wreck me.
Like that WSD, I'm just not good at it. I remember there was a game where I had to use it. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't see how people do this.
Oh man, it's way better, man. When I was playing Rogue Spear and Counter-Strike Source, your ability to swing around and aim down the scope is so much easier with a mouse, for sure. I mean, that's why a lot of Xbox players on Call of Duty, they'll tell you to turn off crossplay because they don't want to play with computer people.
Oh yeah,
if they're cheating.
Oh yeah, but like I remember being on my PC, right? I loved Team Fortress 2 when it came out. I loved it. I was so hardcore TF2. That was my game. And I remember like playing. I liked it so much. I saved up and bought an Xbox to be able to play on Xbox 2 with some of my friends. And so I bought an Xbox and got the orange box on Xbox. Would play on Xbox. I was trash at it because I had to use a controller. And for 2, you were limited on like the games you could play, but on PC, it was like an open community. Like you could like make your own custom servers, make your own custom maps, and play different. Like we would play sniper only maps, different just different types of maps on the PC. I was like why is that not on console? Like that was so mind boggling to me at that time. It's like the customizations for all the games, even like games like StarCraft and Warcraft, see it, Counter-Strike Source, Half-Life, all those games. You had so much more custom options you could do on PC that you didn't have like any of that on console. It's like you're missing a part of the game, and so like that's why I always stuck to PC. That and I'm better on PC, but I think nowadays it don't really matter. Like everything is starting to come out cross-platform. If you'd rather have a console, get a console. I think.
Well, I feel like a big power behind the PC players too is Steam. I feel like it's just so awesome of a thing, and it has been. They've been doing it since back in the day when I was playing on computers back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And they've just been doing it for so long, and it's just awesome. And the only thing that's even close in resemblance to it is the Game Pass. And the way Microsoft has kind of worked, because Microsoft also obviously makes computers. It's almost like Microsoft is for Xbox people and PC gamers. You know what I mean? So like there's so many PC gamers now. Like I was talking to Sleepy. We just had a little side debate about some games and stuff. We were talking about Halo, and literally an article from less than 2 months ago, Halo Master Chief Collection was the #1 downloaded game on Steam across the world. So like there's that many people playing an Xbox game on their computers because of the Game Pass and the difference between so it's just, to me it's pretty awesome how that happens. But
well, you kind of
I don't know.
Well, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to
I was just going to say, like, for me personally, like I never have gotten a virus on my Xbox.
True.
Back when I got back when I had the 360, I did get the Red Ring of Death or whatever once, but I've never had a virus. I never have to worry about my computer getting all slow. Like I just went and bought a $900 laptop. What was it? Less than 6 months ago, probably 4 months ago.
It's already outdated.
Yeah, it's already acting slow and acting silly and trying to get streams to load and trying to get this. And I just spent all this money on it less than a year ago.
And there's that time investment.
That's because it's a laptop, bro.
well, that is true. But I mean, I know a lot of people who game from their laptop, and so like I never run into those problems when I had my console. Back when I played Counter-Strike, I missed a big ladder engagement, a tournament with my clan that I was in, it's funny. It was actually 2Def back in the day. 2Def Kings Elite was where the whole game clan started, and we were supposed to be having this team ladder, and we had a Trojan horse virus on our computer, and we weren't able to get it cleared in time for me to be able to get on and play in this ladder. So our team lost. And I was able to play. So for those reasons, for me personally, ever since I switched to console, I haven't really looked back. And I know PC has so many more cool things that you can do and customizable options and stuff like that. But for me, it's just kind of like that steady rock that's there. Is all I got to do is pick up my Xbox and hit the middle button, and I have my game. I don't have to worry about optimizing my PC and clearing out my browsers and clearing my cookies and doing all this other crap to try to best optimize my signal. And I don't know. To me, it's just easier for me.
I think it's more so about like I support whatever you want to play on, Like, it's all about your cup of tea.
Fuck that, Donnie. You have to choose.
Nah.
This is America.
I mean, like me, I was a kid. I had a PlayStation 3, but I always wanted the Xbox. And when I finally got the Xbox, I was like, why did I even get this? I never played it. I like the convenience of like if I'm I played all my gaming specifically on Xbox whenever my daughter was born, because I couldn't walk away and go fire up the PC, get things going and start playing. I had to play on the fly. She'd fall asleep in my arms and I'd be like, okay, let me just kind of like move her a little bit this way, press the button and turn the Xbox on. I'll play a couple games. But the PC is downstairs, man. I can't just walk downstairs and escape reality when I got a newborn.
That's been the joy of the Switch. Like, I don't even have to turn on the TV or anything. I can just take the handheld Switch with me out into the porch while my kids play, or I was able to play Breath of the Wild, while on the go with my kids because I could just take it with me in the car and play Breath of the Wild right there in the car. So it's definitely been a game changer for me.
It definitely is that time investment that you need in a PC because you're going to have to invest time to get it running optimally and doing what you want. But at the same time, I don't know. I think it's the trade off between if you don't have the time and you'd rather have the convenience, I would go with console. But if you do want like the most optimum this game could be, I would go with the PC because because if you're gonna like the PC will do things like have a beta branch of something, and you can play it while they're working on it and doing stuff like that. You just can't do that on a console. They're not going to give you the game early and then let you play on it while they're working on it.
You know. Well, it's like
the gap's closing though. The gap's closing. So like for the longest time, you could do stuff on a PC that you would never even be able to dream about doing on a console. Yeah. And but nowadays, I mean, the PCs you can still do a lot more with a PC even with the new generation. But I mean, the new consoles are definitely starting to catch up.
When they start opening up and allowing some more, customization, I think you're gonna start seeing that coming to a head where they're gonna be equal when they start allowing you to customize their system instead of giving you this set of parameters and you got to stick with it.
Yeah, I think like in terms of console versus PC, like I mean, if you really want to talk about who's the best or who does this and that, I think consoles are the ones who are always like having to update to catch up to something new on PCs. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's the processing power alone to be able to fit it into a console compared to a computer tower. Yeah.
And it usually comes out for PC first if it's not a specific game.
Well, it used to be games would be built for consoles and then put onto PCs. But now I think games are built for PCs and then switch to consoles.
Yeah, because you see a lot of those indies, they start on PC and then they'll just move to console because they were early access and they were getting money from people while they were creating it to create it, and then when it's done, then you get the console releases with the PC release.
I think
before it's all said and done, we won't be talking about computers versus consoles. It's all going to be this virtual reality world that we're going in.
Like Gamer, what's that movie? Is that what it's called? Gamer.
See, I think you're a little bit
controlling. We're going to be controlling death row inmates.
See, I think you're a little too optimistic. I'm thinking more Skynet than I'm feeling Skynet more.
2020's dated you, huh?
I just the good version. It just doesn't seem possible at this point.
But I mean, we also have they released any like footage or anything of how the UI is going to look on the new consoles?
Nope.
We don't even know.
They haven't let anything go for real. We don't know the price. We don't know what it's going to look like.
Release date.
When the screen come out. Release date. Both of them are just gating this shit off as long as they can.
Well, like I don't understand how they're gonna be low. Like I don't know.
They can't.
Like I guess they
Xbox,
can.
I've heard Xbox price point being as low as $400 for the discless version.
Well, I feel like Xbox can price their consoles low because they can make it back in the back end. They can make up in the back end with their monthly membership. Like you got to pay a monthly membership. And I think does PS4 have a monthly membership too?
They do with PS Now. It's not as good as Xbox Game Pass, but they do have one. But I'm telling you, like Microsoft is it's a software and services company. So that's why they make Game Pass and everything like that. It's really where their strengths is. But PlayStation, Sony, they're an electronics company. They want you to buy their system. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be cheap. Like, I'm just...
Oh, yeah, I doubt
it. I'm almost dead set on it, the lowest being $5.
I've been telling everybody...
They'll take a hit on the price. They'll take a hit on their profits for the PS5 just so they can compete with the Series X price point.
They will, but I'm just seeing 500 is probably the lowest they're going to go.
Yeah, I think if they have some sort of like good monthly membership type setup, they can keep their console prices lower. But like if they don't, I mean, off the top, man, like I don't understand how they can, like a decent graphics card to be able to push more FPS and a sturdy CPU to be able to push better than like the current Xbox Ones and PS4s is, I mean, that's like a $600 PC build or $500 PC build if you do all new. So it's like I don't know how they're going to do it. I guess.
I think they're willing to take that hit, just like John said, to get it into your house because there's so many more services that come from it. Just like the Xbox X Series, there's so many more things that come from it. Just getting it in your house, they're gonna make it back on you buying games, services, apps, DLC, all that. They're like,
yeah,
they're really,
Yeah.
they just want it in your house so they can start generating that cash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where it all goes. I definitely am, because especially as the gap starts closing. I mean, if you look at the Series X, it basically looks like a computer monitor, a computer tower anyway.
Yeah, it looks like the newer Apple computer. I think it's like a little box, little trash can.
Yeah, little refrigerator, little mini fridge.
If they had alcohol inside it, I'd be like, hey, now you're competing with PlayStation.
Wait a second, yeah.
Well, cool, Donnie, man. Well, this is we're kind of up at our time here, man. We definitely appreciate you having you on. I wanted to just give you an opportunity before it's all over to kind of go ahead and plug Control Point. Let us know where we can find it. Let us know if you have any sponsors or giveaways you got going on. Just kind of go ahead and give us the plug right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can follow us. We got a Facebook, Control Point Gaming Center. It's a business page. And then you can also look me up on Instagram at Control Point Gaming. I'm more active on Instagram lately than Facebook. That's just because I've gotten more responses off of Instagram, to be honest. But we do have a couple sponsors. I'm sponsored by Hacksaw PCs. So you'll probably see me talk about them a whole lot. Hacksaw PC is a family-owned business. They are based in California. If you need a PC or, it could be gaming, business, or whatever related, definitely reach out to them. They're a great company. Nick, he's the owner. He loves to build PCs. He talks about how he would honestly do it for free if he could. But anyways, they're a great company. I'm also in works with a company called, I don't even know what they're called, the Ultimate Gamer. Ultimate Gamer is kind of like what we talked about earlier with Super League Prime and the At Home app. They're working on a new program to basically kind of do what At Home was trying to do, which is offer a way to game online and compete from the convenience of your home, as well as like around the world tournaments. So there's going to be some more coming from them. And then as far as those two, of course, you guys know 2Def. If you're in this podcast, everybody knows 2Def. They're going to be, when time comes where we're allowed to venture off in the world again, 2Def is going to definitely be at Control Point every weekend. So
we're going to show up for you, bro. We're going to show up for you.
We're going to show up. They're going to be there every weekend. John is going to be there in his 2Def Gaming Speedo. Hosting some tournaments. No, but 2Def's awesome people.
See,
you guys
it's a joke, but I guarantee you he has one.
Oh, I know he's got one.
Don't challenge me to do it because I will.
I know he's got one. It's all special printed. The 2Def logo on the Speedo is actually a 3D print, so it's kind of cool looking.
It comes off a little,
It makes my junk look bigger.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. He originally,
3D printer.
When he actually got it, he said it was because he was thinking about getting into wrestling, and then he changed his mind.
Well,
that's what it was.
No, I don't think John would ever change his mind about wrestling. But anyways, with that being said,
I also do. I've been streaming like Monday through Friday. It's been fun. I've been doing pretty well for not really well, but like I'm doing a lot better than I thought I would be doing. I would like to shout out some of my like I said earlier, I've been reaching out and talking to local streamers. So like I would like to shout out Car Wreck, Yo-Yo Antics, the Kev, and Zorlok. You can find them all on Twitch. If you look up my Twitch page, it'd be cpgc.tv. Devore, DEV as in Victor, ORE. If you find me, you can find them. They should all be linked on my channel. They're local people in Louisville, living the dream, playing games and streaming, dude. They're really cool. I like them. If you like John and if you like Raphael or Sleepwalker,
It's either one. I actually go by my name more than
well,
Sleepwalker, but
just call him Daddy.
if you like any of these guys, you like them. But I am doing a giveaway. I'm doing a fundraiser giveaway actually. I got a stream. I got a stream goal of $250. So I'm at $133 I think right now. So as soon as I hit that goal, Control Point's matching that and giving it all to Hacksaw PC. Hacksaw PC is going to also throw in some money and some extra little goods. And they're basically going to build the PC and send it to somebody, like a random person. So,
oh man, I need to get in on this.
Well, cool, man. Well, hey, man, make sure you text me over that information. 2Def will contribute a little bit towards that. And,
2Def is going to throw in a free 2Def Speedo. So
only if you wear an extra small though.
Extra. There's a size limit right now. Okay, the inventory is low due to Corona.
Well, cool, Donnie, man. I really appreciate you giving us your time today. You've been very gracious with your time. We've definitely gone over the hour that I promised you. So I appreciate you being so gracious with your time, man. As always, we love working with you. You're one of our favorite partners for sure. Like I said, you're really one of the only ones that we've ever been able to sit down and throw an event with in tandem, and we enjoyed every bit of it. So we support Control Point in any way we can. Let me know how your streaming's going, man. Send me a message from time to time, and I'll help share the stream on our 2Def page, and we'll get you a few more eyeballs as well. So,
well,
we appreciate you coming on, man. Can't wait until you're able to open up this gaming center. And I know there's a whole large population in the city of Louisville that can't wait either, man. So definitely keep us posted and let us know what we can do to help.
Well,
we'll do, dude.
With that being said, we are going to bring this to a close. We'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Please like, comment, subscribe. Not only us, but Control Point as well. Find us on social media and support gaming worldwide. With that being said, a good night, folks, and 2Def.
2Def?